Hi, my name is Ashton and welcome back to Ashton's EDC. Today I just wanted to share another kind of kit and a little project that I've been kind of tinkering with and working on over the past couple of days. Don't necessarily have a name for it, but it's kind of my DIY slash tinkering on the go kit. It is a little bit hard to explain in words, but I will turn the camera down towards the table in just a moment to kind of go through and show you how I have this set up. So give you a brief glimpse of it right now. I have it just kind of on a carabiner here. I use this, today I carried this just clipped onto my belt loop on my left hand side, and didn't bother me too much at all, didn't rattle around too much either. So in here I've got a couple of different things. Obviously I have, you can see multiple items dangling off of that carabiner, but I'll get right to it. I'll turn the camera down towards the table now and we will take a look. Alright, so here we are taking a look at this little on-the-go DIY and tinkering kit. So I love tinkering with things, working on different projects, kind of doing some DIY stuff. Most of the time I'm doing that here at my desk, but sometimes while I'm out and about, I might want to modify something or work on something while I'm on the bus or something like that. So I just thought I would put this little kind of kit together. So it's using this carabiner along with this kind of strap from as the Pittsburgh Penguins. That's my favorite hockey team, and I thought it would work well for this. But what I'll do for now is I'll just kind of take some of these items off and I'll show them individually. So first up, attached here on the end, I've got the Victorinox MiniChamp. I got lots of tools. It has scissors, a knife, screwdrivers, nail file, all sorts of different things. So pretty useful and pretty small and compact. So I added that here onto the end, kind of as the main tool as far as this kit goes. But kind of the main thing is this here. So in itself, this is a capsule, a metal little kind of container capsule. I think it's mostly designed to carry some medications and that kind of thing. But as you can clearly see, I have transformed it. So first off, here on the kind of the first half of the container, I wrapped some red electrical tape. Just thought red would be good just to kind of have a different color, because I also have some black Gorilla Tape here. So I have quite a decent amount of electrical tape and quite a lot of Gorilla Tape here as well. But I seem to use Gorilla Tape quite a bit. And then you can kind of see right there's where the purple is. So that's kind of where the capsule itself ends. And what I did is using some hot glue, a hot glue gun, as well as some super glue. I attached this spool onto the bottom. So currently I have a little Ranger band. I'm going to see if I can get that off on camera. Might be a little bit tricky. The reason I have this on here is just to give a little bit of protection to what is wrapped around the spool. Should have done this before I started filming, but I almost got it. There we go. So there's just a little Ranger band. And then wrapped around here is, I don't know how much, but it is definitely quite a large amount. It's just a length of fishing line. I'm trying to see if I have the original fishing line spool on hand. But it is the fishing line that is braided. So hopefully you can see there. It's green in color, but it is braided. So it's kind of like thread in a way. It's not as much of a plastic as regular fishing line is. So it does kind of act as a thread, and it's just super strong. a little bit easier to manage than fishing line, in my opinion. So I wrapped that around there and then just attach it to the bottom. It's pretty secure on there. It's not going anywhere. I did multiple tests to make sure if I really pulled on there, it would come off. But in day-to-day use, all it would be doing is kind of dangling around like that, and it's not going to fall off. So that's the three things I've got on the outside. The braided sort of cordage or thread, Gorilla tape, and electrical tape. Obviously a big keyring here on the top. And then unscrewing this. This is still kind of a work in progress, but these are the things that I decided to put in here to start. First up is I've got pretty good length of microcord. This one is in yellow. I have the original container here somewhere, but you know, it comes like this. This is the orange one. This is they're from Atwood. So I wrapped quite a decent amount of microcord into this little bundle, which fits into this little container perfectly. Next up, I've got some copper wire. This is snare wire. Obviously, it can be used for that, but in this kit, the main reason is just for repairing things. You can use this to hold things down, to obviously kind of make a quick repair, or just use it almost as a zip tie. Being wire, obviously, will hold its shape when it's wrapped around something, so included that in there. Thought that could come in quite handy. And then I've just got a few other items in here. A bit tricky to get out. So first, or next up, here we go. I've just got some needles. I've got 3 needles here, different sizes, kind of small, medium, large, and that is to work with this cordage or thread there. I've used this before for sewing. It works quite well. So just included a few needles. Also just included this little flathead screwdriver, super small. I'm not even sure where I got this from. Probably came with something that I bought. But you might even be able to use this as a two-dimensional Phillips as well, depending on the screw. But just a nice little flathead screwdriver, super small and compact, so it fits quite well in there. And then the last thing in here, this might look kind of odd at the moment, but if I unwrap this, again, should have done this before, but I have one of these craft scalpel blades, and I kind of did a little bit of a DIY to provide a tiny bit of a handle. Now, calling this a handle might be a bit of a stretch, but this is how they come. It's for for a craft knife. Came with a bunch of replaceable blades. This is how they come. Obviously, well, there's actually 2 here, but super sharp, and then you would just slot this into the craft knife to use. But having one just like this is a little bit hard to use, not much to grab onto, plus that makes it kind of super open to the edge, and these are extremely sharp. So what I did was I actually just took a little piece of a pencil that I already cut off. I cut that down the middle, sort of sandwiched the craft knife in between those 2 pieces of pencil, wrapped some Gorilla tape around it, and then using both some super glue and some hot glue, kind of drip some super glue down in this section and hot glue down in this section to join those pieces together. And it's pretty sturdy, actually. And there's no way I would be able to pull it out. Doesn't have much other than just the blade itself flexing, and gives me a tiny little bit of a handle. Obviously, it's not the same as the handle of a knife or anything like that, but it does work pretty good and extremely sharp. I just used this little piece of electrical tape just to cover the blade, because I don't want to have this in here like that and then reach in and then cut myself. So just a few little items. One other thing that I did want to include in here was a pencil, but with these items here, there wasn't enough room, so I made this sort of a little keychain pencil. This in itself was a golf kind of style pencil, so just a little short one. I had already cut this down to fit inside of this container, which is where I'd use kind of that little extra piece for this kind of DIY craft knife. And so what I did was just kind of taped the end off with some Gorilla Tape, using the awl on my Victorinox Spartan. Sort of drilled a hole in there, looped some microcord through, and just for fun added a bead and just tied a few cobra knots. So now it's kind of a keychain pencil. The reason I wanted a pencil in here is just it can be handy for marking things. You know, if I'm wanting to cut something, I can sort of you know, mark off where I want the cut to be made. So I just included that. And I don't know, is this the most useful thing in the world? Probably not, but it was really fun to make. And that's kind of what it comes down to for me. If it's fun and if I had a good time, then it was worth it. But definitely kind of out there, I guess you could say. Might seem a little bit odd to some people, but I really enjoyed making this. It's fun to just kind of see what kind of ideas you can come up with just with the items you have laying around. As you can see, my desk is pretty messy right now because I was testing a whole bunch of things and sort of digging through my different containers of stuff. You know, thought I could include some zip ties in there, but these zip ties are too long. Thought about cutting the zip ties down, but then at that point, there's not too much usable space, so sort of scrapped that idea. But just kind of working things out, seeing what will work and what won't work. And this is kind of what I came up with. The main thing that I would use this for is probably the tape on the outside, as well as this thread and the needles and this. And then probably this as well. So all things that can be really useful. And then as I said, how I have this set up, I'm not going to repack everything right now because that will take a bit too long, but this gets screwed on. Clip this onto the carabiner here. And as for this, I'm not sure if I want it to be here, attached where I have the MiniChamp or not, but how I had it set up before is clipped onto the carabiner so that the capsule sits on this side and the pencil sits on this side. And it's a little bit of a, obviously it dangles a little bit, you know, pretty long, but I clipped this onto my left kind of like hip belt loop, and it dangled there no problem. I didn't have any issue with it. I didn't have the pencil when I was carrying this today, so I'm not sure if that will start poking me or something like that, but either way, works pretty great. As well with the pencil, with this, I can use this to sharpen the pencil as well if I really need to. Obviously, I don't have a pencil sharpener, but, you know, just going like that, you can sharpen that up pretty easily. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed this little DIY tinkering on-the-go kit that I made in this kind of carabiner fashion. Definitely might seem a little bit odd and a little out there, but I had a lot of fun doing it, and like I had said before, that's kind of the point, just to see what kinds of things can I put together just using the items that I've got laying around. And I think I made a pretty good little kit. Maybe not the most practical thing ever in the world, but I enjoyed it. And I hope you enjoyed it too. If anything, hope it gave you a bit of a laugh. But I'd love to hear if you've ever done anything like this before yourself. If you've ever made a little kit or even anything using these little metal capsules, let me know down in the comments below. Anyways, that is it for today. If you liked the video, hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. And if you like the other videos I'm making, please subscribe. I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers. I just reached 200 subscribers this week, which is amazing. So if you can share this video with others, that would be great. Trying to just kind of increase the community and yeah, grow the channel. Anyways, I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday and take care.